Follow the conversation. This is Afternoons on the Dove.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Afternoons on the Dove. It's Friday. We have Tim Elbert in the house. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery. Hey, you are in for a special treat today. Not only are we going to take your phone calls about questions you may have about what's going on in your yard, or you'd like to move some things around or fertilize them or move them or cut them or throw them over the fence to your neighbor, whatever. He can answer all those questions. But our buddy Tim Elbert, who heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, you were selected to do the landscape design on the Extreme Makeover project here in Medford.
That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we worked hard at it. We finally got all the finishing touches done yesterday.
Really?
And delivered the design out to the site. So
when do you go to work?
Well, we start. I believe that the landscape is going to start on Monday.
Yeah.
It's one of the last things that'll happen. It's once you get all that equipment out of there and get that soil brought in and graded out, and then we can start putting plants in. So
Whoa.
yeah, so we will be out there on Monday and Tuesday, trying to get all that landscape done. So
now, when's the house supposed to be done? By Wednesday?
I believe yes, Wednesday. I think
Move
everything.
that bus?
Yeah, I think that's Wednesday. Yeah, they move the bus, show the house, I believe, on Wednesday.
Wow. Now, how'd this happen? And it's not just you. I mean, you kind of like you're heading it together, but you and a bunch of your other colleagues in the industry came together.
Yeah, actually, when there was a landscaper, Hilltop Landscaping, was contacted by the builder to do the design or the landscape work, and we do a lot of design work for Hilltop. And so they came to us and asked us if we could help them out with the design. So we met with him and with Andy Monaco from Extreme Makeover. He's the project director. And so we kind of went through what we needed to do and got a hold of the plans, and my eyeballs got about this big. It's a very large project in a very small amount of time. And typically, if you've seen the program, most of those projects are in city lots in a small area. This is sitting on a 50-acre parcel of land, and we will be landscaping approximately, roughly, an acre of that. So yeah, so there's a lot of area to cover. And but it's exciting. The landscape is very intricate, very nice, and we're very excited to see it come out.
All right. So how many people are working with you?
We have, I believe there's about 6 landscape companies involved. Schofield Landscaping and Hilltop Landscaping, they're kind of heading up everything. And I don't recall a lot of the other landscapers involved, but I know that there's several of them that will be doing things like irrigation, putting in the lawn, and helping out with planting of the plants. There is a big water feature that's going to be in there, and so we'll be doing that. There's a lot of flagstone going in, so a lot of that, a fire pit, and all the stuff that goes in with that. So yeah, so it's going to be a pretty exciting landscape, actually.
Now, what about suppliers? Is everything donated?
Everything is donated, yes, and so many people have locally donated. Just locally, places like the Grange Co-op, they have donated a lot of the tools. Hoses and shovels and
they're great people.
Wheelbarrows, all kinds of stuff like that. A lot of other nurseries other than us that are donating. There's Southern Oregon Nursery, great people out there, good friends of ours, and they are helping out a lot on this project as well as Cascade Nursery and some of others that I haven't heard yet. But a lot of my suppliers have stepped up and donated.
So you got trucks of material coming in?
Yes. Heinz Nursery, they're a very large nursery, and they have donated a bunch of trees and some lavender plants. And Monrovia Nursery, we just got off the phone with them yesterday and confirmed that they're bringing their stuff on Sunday. Hopefully everything works out, but the retail value for the material that they're bringing in is over $5,000. So they have just really just stepped up and donated a lot of things. Skagit Gardens out of Washington, they grow some fabulous perennials. And one of the things involved in this is going to be a lot of color, and they have just really stepped up and donated a lot of color too. So
how many plants? You have any ideas?
Oh, don't even ask. I'll tell you what, for anybody who wants to come out to the nursery, you walk around, if you can squeeze through the pathways, everything that's on a pallet is headed out there, and we haven't got it all in yet. So
then this is just one house.
One house, yes. When they say extreme, they mean extreme.
Yeah. Any trees?
Yes, absolutely. There are the theme is kind of a mountains and meadows type of a theme. So there's a lot of pine and conifers, and then some birch and a few other things too. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting landscape.
So what an incredible experience! And you're going to go from like noon on Monday to noon on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is that noon to noon is when the landscape's going in. Yeah, we got 24 hours to do this huge landscape. But we're going to try to get in a little early and see if we can't at least get some soil moved around and maybe some trenches dug for some of the irrigation and the landscape
and you
lighting.
always run into some kind of a snafu or something, don't you?
Always, always.
You're going to hit a rock. You're going to. I would imagine you've called for the locate.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to worry about that one right now.
Yeah. Well, the house hasn't been demolished yet, I guess, huh?
I was up there yesterday afternoon. It was still there.
Okay.
And rumor has it, and here rumors.
Yeah.
So rumor has it that's supposed to happen tonight. So,
all right.
But that's only rumor. I haven't heard anything official.
All right. So Tim Elbert's with us, Four Seasons Nursery, and he's been selected to kind of head up the landscaping project for the Extreme Home Makeover here in Southern. We've all watched this program, and whoever thought it would come to Southern Oregon, and then CJ and his family. I mean, that is an incredible story.
Yes. Yes.
And he and his wife have given so much to the Sparrow Club throughout Oregon, and working with kids who are, in many cases, terminally ill, and having those children adopted by schools, to help the family. And anyways, worked so hard. And then now his own children who have some birth disease, and so it's just kind of an amazing story how that all came about.
Yeah, and it's what a great thing to do for people who have given so much already to the community, and a chance for the community to give back. And I just think it's a fabulous thing. And
I always wondered though when they do this, because they literally do it in 7 days.
Yes.
How does the concrete set up, and how does the paint dry?
There are tricks that these contractors have that can make this work. But I know that temperatures of the water in the concrete, make it.
Well, it's a great time of the year to do this.
Yeah, make it set faster, slower, different mixes, different things, additives. So, yeah, they are amazing. They can do some fabulous stuff in such a short amount of time. They got it down.
Have you seen the house plans?
I have, yes.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Well, you know what? I would move in.
Well, yeah, especially when the other guy's paying for it.
Yeah, I could live in that house.
All right, so the backyard you're going to do front and back, and you say a water feature in the back or the front?
The water feature will be in the front.
Okay.
Actually, the majority of the landscape is going to be in the front, so there's not as much in the back. The back of the house, I think there's some pretty good views out the back, but most of the landscape does center around the front of the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
That's really fair. You're going to take some pictures along the way and bring them in?
Absolutely.
Yeah, snap some pictures. Yeah, and bring them in, and so we can show our audience, as you kind of go through the day, and just maybe you could put a time lapse camera in the corner or something there. But it would be fun to see it. It would be from your perspective.
Yes, absolutely. We will be out there and doing a lot of work. We will be doing some video also, as well as some still photos that will be up on our website. And if you get our newsletter, we'll be talking about the process on our newsletter as well.
Okay, and that's fourseasonsnurseryonline.com?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
if
Tim
you say that all in one breath.
Well, I just think that's so exciting, not to only have it here in our own backyard, but you personally involved in it. I know some other folks right down just 4 or 5 doors down from us here are involved in various areas of that project as well, and cabinetries and other contractors, and It's just an amazing thing to have happen.
It is. It is. It's a great thing. A lot of great community people. We went out yesterday to sign the papers to get out on site, and half a dozen of my customers. Hey Tim. So neat to see all these people out there, and and I think I think that getting involved and having being with all these people that we may know from other parts of life, but gathering together and working together, I just think is such a fabulous experience. So.
All right, now I have one other thing. So we're going to build this house in 7 days. I mean, they're going to tear an old one down. They've got to move it out, all that material out,
right?
Bring all this stuff in, build this house. It's going to go up fast. It just proves that you can get something through the county fast in the way of permits and inspections, right?
Absolutely.
So why can't this be the new model?
I am not going to go there.
Oh, come on.
I am not going to go there.
I mean, we're going to get electrical, we're going to get, carpentry, we're going to get all these inspections done and permits done.
Right.
Isn't it amazing that it can get done?
That it can get done, yes. In very little time.
Very little time.
Absolutely.
Well, Tim, again, congratulations. Hey, we want to open up the phone lines. We wanted you to just hear that and have Tim share that with us today, because I just think it's really, really neat. Can't wait to see the pictures. But in the meantime, we are in some hot weather. I don't know if we've hit the triple digits yet. We could this week. There's still that possibility. But it certainly is hot. Maybe you have some questions about what's going on in your yard. Give us a call, 776-5368. Your name will go in the hat, and we'll draw a name out at the end, and they're going to win
a flat of pansies.
A flat of
Your
pansies?
choice of color.
Really?
Yeah.
He would have brought them in, but they're all wet.
Yeah, I was going to bring them
Kind
in.
of like him.
Yeah. Well, no, hang on. But, the pansies just got watered, so.
So a whole flat?
A whole flat. That's 36 plants.
Wow.
So you can plant them all in your yard, or you can share them with your neighbors and
your
friends.
Own extreme plant makeover.
Your own extreme flat of pansies, yes.
All right, 776-5368 if you want to join us and you have any questions about what's going on in your yard. I have to tell you this. I did do some spraying on the worm thing in the tree. Mm-hmm. I saw them fall to the ground, and I went out there and I got them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So is that what we're supposed to do?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Everybody's looking at that worm.
Death and destruction.
What are they calling it now? I forget.
Webworm.
Webworm.
Yes.
It's in trees everywhere.
Yes, and don't mistake that for what's called a tent caterpillar. The tent caterpillar can look very similar in its caterpillar form. But the tent caterpillar is very different from the webworm. The webworm, not as big of a deal. If this were tent caterpillar, we'd be crying. Tent caterpillar have multiple life cycles during the year, and they are not easily frozen out like the webworm. Hopefully, a cold winter will kill off most of what the webworm are most of the overwintering webworms.
All right.
But that doesn't happen with tent caterpillar.
Get your calls in because your name's going to go in the hat for a whole flat of pansies. And these are grown from scratch with Tim and his dad out there at Four Seasons Nursery. 776-5368. Hi, Fern. What's going on? Oh, got you there, Fern? Fern?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Sorry about that.
Hi.
Hey, I've been after you guys for years about my wisteria.
Okay.
And it's just not blooming, and I've spanked it. He told me to spank it 1 year.
Beat it with a stick. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me to deprive it of water, so we did that.
Right.
And it is just, it's like Jumanji. It's growing into everything. We're afraid it's going to pick our dogs up and put it in the air.
It just might. You never know.
Yeah. So we're thinking about removing it, but what I want is I really love the shade it provides, and I'm wondering what's a fast-growing thing that will fill in like that and give us the shade, but won't and give us a little flower, hopefully.
Right. Yeah. Well, the wisteria just are so temperamental that, when you get them to bloom, that they're great. When they stop blooming, you can try all different kinds of things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just doesn't. So that's just unfortunate with those. If you take it out and you want to put another vine back in, Something that would be close to that would be much easier to keep blooming would be the trumpet vine or trumpet creeper, as it's also called. And they come in kind of an orange-colored bloom, nice trumpet-shaped blooms, attract the butterflies and stuff, so they're very nice that way. They trail and climb very, very quickly and cover an area very fast. So that would probably be my top choice.
Okay, and another question. Mm-hmm. If I want to try to preserve this wisteria and plant it in a different area in my yard that's not so close to our roof, because that's the problem, is it's growing in the roof too.
Oh, yeah.
Can I cut it back to almost nothing and have it survive?
Yes. Yeah, chop it way back, dig it up, and move it to wherever you want to move it. It'll come back from that for sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
thanks,
you're welcome.
Fern. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back, but we got plenty of opportunity for you to call in and be a part of the broadcast, and your name's going to go in the hat for a drawing, and you could win a whole flat of pansies. And the number is 776-5368. Tim Elbert's in the house, 776-5368. Whether you're watching on TV or listening on the radio, give us a buzz.
Follow the conversation. This is Afternoon on the Dove. Follow the conversation. This is Afternoon on the Dove.
Tim Elbert's in the house. Tim heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, and congratulations again to Tim. He's been selected as the person in charge of the landscaping project of the Extreme Makeover Home project here in Southern Oregon, in Medford. And he's coordinating his other fellow nurserymen and suppliers and landscapers all coming together for this project. It's huge.
Yes.
And you're part of the installation. Will go in sometime early next week.
Yes, we'll be out there Monday and Tuesday working with the landscapers.
24 hours.
Yeah, probably or more. But yeah, definitely we got the design done, and it was really a blessing from the Lord. We had hired a gentleman this spring who was a retired landscape architect out of California.
Really?
Jim Hoffman, yeah. And he has done some amazing work down in California, had a big firm down there, and sold his business, retired, moved up to Shady Cove. And
now he's working for you?
Yeah. And,
he said, bingo, he gets the big job.
So he has been a fabulous resource in helping us to actually take the design and put it on the paper, and he plotted everything out and spent hours and hours of his own time working on that. So kudos to Jim as well. So if you see him out at the nursery, tell him thanks for that.
All right,
too.
Jim, congratulations. Well, we're here to take your calls too about what's going on in your yard, and your name will go in the hat for the drawing coming up in a little bit of a complete flat of beautiful pansies, your choice of colors. All right, hi, Brenda, what's going on with your lilac bush?
Hi. Well, it's planted up against the house, and it's just getting very big. So I would just like to move it to another part of the yard. So when would be a good time to dig that baby up?
Okay. Do that when it's dormant, and you'll know it's dormant when there's no leaves. So once it's dropped all its leaves, you can dig that up and move it. I don't like to trim them back at that time because you're going to lose the flowers for spring. But if you have to, go for it. It's not going to hurt the plant any at all. You're just not going to have all those nice, beautiful blooms for spring. But if you can keep it intact, dig it up, get as much of the root as you can, and move it. They do move very easily, so have at it.
All right, well, that sounds great.
Okay.
Enjoy listening to you guys.
Hey, thanks,
right,
Brenda.
thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, whether you're watching on TV right now or you're listening on the Dove Radio, we can take your phone call. The number is 776-5368, and talk to Tim about any question you may have about gardening, landscaping, fertilizing, bugs, trees, plants, vegetables, whatever. He's the guy, and then your name's going to go in the hat for a whole flat of pansies. And your dad started these, right?
Actually, no. He kind of is retired. He said, I'm not doing it.
Well,
so
I think we ought to send Dad on a vacation.
So we grabbed Lisa from the nursery there, Lisa Chasen, and she's been working with us for about 10 years now. And we said, look, we need you to do this. She said, I'll try it, see what I can do. She went out there, did a great job. So she kind of has taken over the growing of the pansies. And so, yeah, she's done a great job. They're looking beautiful. We've got about 200 flats down at the nursery now. We'll have about another 1,000 flats coming in. So lots and lots of pansies available.
All right. If you win it, you're going to get a whole flat, your choice of colors. Hi, Liza. What's going on?
Hey, Tim, I just wanted to say thank you for all of the things that you're doing up there to help with my friends, Lindsay and CJ.
Oh, good.
I've known them since before they got married, and I'm just rejoicing that all the people in the community and so many that love the Lord because they love the Lord. So I know that when you're planting flowers in the ground that you're also seeding God's kingdom in there. And so I just wanted to say a special thanks for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. What a great group of people and a great family. So we're excited and honored to be part of that project.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Liza. Okay, let's go to Marge. Hi, Marge. What's going on with your jasmine?
Well, we moved down here to Medford from the Willamette Valley about 6 years ago and dug up our jasmine and brought it with us. I have it in a pot, and I cannot get it to bloom since we've been here.
Oh, how long have you been here?
About 6 years.
Oh, so it hasn't bloomed in 6 years?
No, it hasn't.
Oh, my goodness. Is it still in a pot?
Yes, it is.
Well, beat it with a stick. No, I'm kidding. No, the jasmine, if it's not blooming, if it's growing well, looking good, but just not blooming, you might increase the amount of light that it's getting. It can handle quite a bit of sun. You know, usually we tell people plant your jasmine in a shady spot, but they'll take sun up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just before it gets really, really hot.
Okay.
Try that. Give it a little bit more light. See if you can't get it to produce some flowers for you.
Okay, that'd be
right.
great.
All right.
Okay.
And they do bloom on new growth as well, so you want to keep them well fed. I would suggest the same stuff we use for our petunia baskets. It's geranium, hanging basket, and pansy food by Fertilome. And I would get that and mix that up and put a good dose of that on about every 2 weeks or so.
Oh, every 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Hey.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You're
Marge. Thanks for calling. 776-5368 if you want to join us, and your name will go in the hat for a beautiful whole flat of some pansies. All right, Jason, got a holly bush problem. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, we have these holly plants that are about probably 50, 60 years old, so they're more like small trees, right next to the foundation of our house here.
Okay.
So we've chainsawed them down, and I've trimmed all the growth from these things, even gone as far as spray painting the entire area, and yet they keep coming back.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of root system down there that's bringing stored up carbohydrates and trying to regrow back in there. So just cutting them down really isn't going to stop them from growing. What you'll have to do is probably have to dig up that crown. So you're going to need to dig down and kind of chop out as much of the root system as you can. If you can get down a foot, foot and a half, and get all that stuff out of there, you're going to see a lot less trouble with those suckers coming back up.
Well, I thought about that. My concern is, these things they're planted like less than a foot away from the foundation wall here of the house. So I wasn't sure if the root structure, was going to, cause any kind of conflict or anything.
Right.
If I was to remove it, being that close.
Yeah, I don't think if you're only going down that far, I don't think that's going to be a big issue. So
okay.
I wouldn't try to get everything out of there because you don't want to, you don't want to have that kind of a gigantic hole next to the house, I'm sure. But get what you can, and you should be okay. I don't think it's going to hurt too much the foundation. You will want to check as you're digging that down. You do want to check that foundation and see if it's cracked, and you may want to have somebody check that out and make sure that you don't have any serious problems with that if you do have any cracking.
Okay. Okay, great. Hey,
Okay.
thanks a lot, and God bless you guys.
All right,
you
thank
too.
you, Jason. All right, 776-5368 if you have any questions for Tim, who heads up the Four Seasons Nursery. By the way, even though Tim won't be there Monday and Tuesday for the next 24 hours during that time period, he's out there at the Extreme Home Makeover. You are open 9 to 5
Yes, we'll be open 9 to 5 every day.
every day, and the pansies are now arriving.
Yes, big and beautiful and full of color.
There you go. So swing out there, check it out. You go out Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, go up about a half mile. You can't miss it. It's off to the right there with the beautiful, great, big hanging baskets that are still in full bloom.
Still in full bloom, looking beautiful out there.
All right. If you have any questions, 776-5368. Hi, Don. What's going on?
Hi, I have been weeding my flower beds, and there's lots of grasses in there, and I've been digging them out, and I'm wondering if there's something I can put in the soil to prevent those grasses from coming back.
Yes, there is. You can use a product called Dimension, and if you forget, just remember it sounds like dementia.
Okay.
But, yeah, bad joke, okay. But Dimension is a pre-emergent. It's going to kill seeds only. So it's not going to hurt your flowers and your shrubs. And you can just sprinkle that over the top of the ground once you clean everything out and water it in. And that water's going to activate it. So sprinkle it down, water it in, and that should kill any seed that's going to come up. Now,
What about the roots from the grasses, though?
yeah, now the roots, that's another story. When those come up, there is a spray you can use called, it's just called Grass Killer by High Yield. And it only kills grasses and grass-like plants. So you want to be careful where you're using it. Make sure that, that the plants that are around there that you're trying to save aren't grass-like, which would be like the lilies and daffodils and irises and anything with that kind of a strap-shaped leaf. You want to be really careful around those because it will kill those.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, well, thank you.
All right,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Don. All right, let's see if we can squeeze in a couple more before we take a break. Let's see here. Mary, what's going on with your climbing roses?
Yeah, I have roses that are probably about 30 years old, and they're about 20 feet tall. Can I trim that? I have never done anything to it, and it just is huge now. So what can I do with my climbing rose?
Yes, you can prune them back. You can cut them back to a foot tall if you want to. Even, a couple of feet tall, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can cut them way back. It's not going to hurt them a bit. However, you want to do this after first frost. So generally right around Thanksgiving time.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Great. Thank
All righty.
you.
All right, thank you, Mary. Let's go to Kathy. Sorry about that. And hi, Kathy.
Hi. Tim, I'm still struggling with a yard I moved into last fall. And I'm having my first experience with a smoke tree. And, and believe it or not, it took 4 arborists trying to figure out what the thing was, so we finally got a name on it. And the top branches are quite tall. It was kind of trimmed into a taller tree. And the top branches, actually could be 15 feet, even taller. They are turning brown, and it's kind of different. It's very different than any kind of tree I've ever dealt with. And then it's coming up with all kinds of lush green sprouts on the lower trunk. Should I cut those top branches out and then encourage more branching coming up from all that green stuff coming from down below, or what should I do?
Well, the smoke tree, Cotinus is its botanical. It is actually more of a multi-trunk tree or large shrub even.
Right. Yeah. It is multi-trunk, definitely.
Yeah. So they always have kind of this really cool structure to them when they get big, and I like that. So I usually suggest that you kind of leave that. However, if you were to cut that clear to the ground, it would come back in force. It would come back like you would not believe.
Well, there's tons of green growth on the lower branching, but it's the high ones, the top ones, they're all turning brown, and I don't know why. It's been well watered. I mean, it's in a good spot. The rest of it's healthy.
Yeah, it could be just some heat damage. Excuse me. That's not a real problem. It should come out of that. If you want to bring me a sample down to the nursery, we can take a look at it and see if there's anything else going on. But I would think I would want to keep that structure. Getting that structure back is going to take a lot of years. So your choice, you could go either way. Cut it back and allow some of that lower stuff to grow up, that there's not a problem with that at all. But it's just going to take a while to regain that structure you had before.
Oh, it was so beautiful in the spring when it was, well, you can't say leafing out because it has different kind of foliage than your typical tree leaf.
Yeah.
But when it was dormant, I mean, nobody could tell what the thing was. But it was beautiful then. It's just, I don't know what's causing it to turn brown like that. So thank you. I appreciate your time.
Okay,
All right, no
thank
problem.
you, Kathy. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. If you want to join us, 776-5368. Get your name in the hat. Got a few minutes left, and who knows, you could win a full flat. That's the word I was looking for. A full flat of pansies, right from the Four Seasons Nursery. 776-5368. We'll be right back.
Follow the conversation. This is Afternoons on the Dove. Follow the conversation. This is Afternoons on the Dove.
Well, it's Friday, and Tim Elbert's in the house. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, and we're taking your phone calls about any questions you may have about what's going on in your yard. Your name will go in the hat, and coming up in about 8 or 9, 10 minutes or so, we're going to draw one name out. Could be yours, and you'll win a flat of pansies, your choice of colors.
Absolutely.
All right, and a whole flat. So how many plants are in there?
That's 36 plants. Yeah.
Well, that'll look really nice coming up to your house in the middle of winter because they go all the time.
No, all winter long.
All right, 776-5368, 776-5368. And we're also rejoicing because Tim was selected to head up the landscaping project at the Extreme Homes Makeover project here in Medford that's going on now. Started early this week, and boy, it's just a 7-day, rip the old one down and put a new one in.
Yes.
And you're kind of the last guy that goes in at the end with the landscaping.
Right.
You've been drawing it, working on it. I don't know how many people are come together just in that project alone, but quite a few of you nurserymen.
Yes.
Landscapers.
A lot of nurseries, a lot of landscapers. Hilltop, Schofield Landscape. They've been doing a tremendous amount of work so far, and heading up a lot more of that. And just some great people to work with too. I have really enjoyed working with them so far, and they've done a fabulous job, and we're really waiting to see how it comes together.
I just can't wait. Again, encouraging you to take pictures along the way, and then maybe next week you're in, we can throw some of those up on the TV screen. People can see them.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
Yes.
All right, whether you're watching by TV right now or listening on the Dove Radio, give us a call, 776-5368. And who knows, you might be able to win that flat of pansies. Hi, Scott. What's going on with your ground cover?
Hey, well, I guess on my question, I think it's about ground cover. We've got a piece of ground out in the corner of our front property by our driveway, and it's probably at least 25 feet wide, 20 feet deep, and it's just got like a big rock in the middle of it. There's nothing there. We just had to weed it, and we put some viney type ground cover in there, but there's a lot of bare ground there, and I was just wondering if there's anything at this time of year that we could plant for the future to kind of make it look better.
Okay. As far as ground cover goes, there's a lot of different things that you can use in there. One that I think is a really nice one, especially around big rocks, is one called kinnikinnick. It's a type of manzanita that kind of trails out. And there's a few different varieties of kinnikinnick. I like the Massachusetts variety. It's a little tighter, more compact, and it just looks fabulous. That's a really good one to put out there. Also, one that grows very, very quickly is the rosemary, trailing rosemary. And you can get just a small trailing rosemary planted in an area, and in a matter of a couple of months, it can be 3 feet wide and already growing like crazy. And you can use that rosemary as an herb into the like your cooking and stuff like that too.
Right. Is that appropriate to plant this time of year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Thanks, Scott. All right, let me see if we can squeeze in a couple more here real quick. Hi, Diana. What's going on with your lilac?
I'm wondering when I can trim off where it had bloomed and still have it bloom next year.
Well, all of the flower buds are going to be close to the tips, and so I wouldn't do any pruning. I would wait until after it's done blooming and then do the pruning.
Okay, so if I bloom now, it won't bloom. I mean, if I trim it now, it won't bloom next spring.
Right. It's actually producing flower buds now. So, yeah, so you really don't want to do much pruning on it right now.
Oh, that is a good to know. And do I have time for a real fast, quick one?
Sure.
Blueberries. I haven't trimmed my blueberries in over 8 years. Can I trim them now that they're done, or do I need to wait?
You actually, yes, you could prune them now that they're done producing, but it might be a little easier to wait until they've dropped their foliage, and you can actually get in there and see it better, a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay.
And how far down can I take them?
You know, I like to just kind of thin them out a little bit, take about a third out, and then you can drop them down a third of the way east also. So a third of the thickness and then a third of the height.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, 7765368. We can squeeze you in. Hi, Brian. What's going on with your aspen?
I called about a month ago because I was getting those great big leaves up on the top. They're about 2-year-old trees planted. And Tim, you said that they were probably watering them plenty, and that's why I was producing those big leaves.
Right.
Now those big leaves, the stem is there, but they've disappeared and they're not on the ground.
No, they disappeared and they're not on the ground.
And they're not on the ground. Almost like a buzzard came along and ate them all.
Well, there's probably something that ate them, yeah.
Okay, because they're totally gone. All those big ones, and there's probably 30 of them up there, and the stem of the leaf is still there. But and then one more question. On the moths that have the web nests that get in my birch and stuff, is it killing the branch or is it just eating the vegetation?
They are killing the vegetation. They're eating the vegetation. But what can happen is that once there's no more vegetation there, the tree or the shrub will sometimes kind of say to itself, well, I don't have anything here, so nothing's helping me out. I really don't need this branch. And so it'll kind of die off on its own. So, yeah, you will probably see some dead branches as well. The nice thing is that it's not permanent damage. New growth should come on after that next spring.
Okay. I've been removing those things out of there, but I'm taking the foliage off, so I'm going to end up possibly with a little dead branch. Okay.
Yeah. Just wait till spring. You'll know for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to have you reach in the hat there and draw a name out, and they're going to get a full flat of pansies out at the Four Seasons Nursery, and your choice of color, and the winner is?
Dawn.
Dawn.
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Dawn. We'll get a hold of you, and you can get a hold of Tim. No, we'll get a hold of you, and then he'll tell you what to do.
Absolutely.
And Tim is also, just again, letting you know, we're pretty excited for him. He has been the nurseryman in charge of the landscaping project at the Extreme Makeover project going on now here in Medford, which is really an exciting thing to watch happen. And I guess people can still kind of drive by and look.
Yeah, it's hard.
Are they taking shuttles up there?
Yeah, you actually have to take a shuttle up. And I believe if you are wanting to just spectate, you hopefully I have my information right, but I think you have to go to Medford Walmart, and they bus you from there up. And then the volunteers right at the end of Coker Butte Road, there's a tent there. And for the volunteers that are helping out, and you go in there and you sign up, and then they take you up. But you can't just drive up there. They have it all blocked off, and for safety reasons and a lot of reasons, yes, absolutely. That I could understand that, but you got to jump through a couple of hoops to get there. But what an amazing project! I was up there yesterday, and there was just a ton of people up there, workers just working hard and getting things done, and a fabulous thing to experience. So if you get a chance, you might want to do it.
Who's the superintendent of overall? Is there one person in charge?
I don't know on that. I have worked with Andy Monaco, who is I believe he's the project manager or project director, and I know that there's a lot of behind-the-scenes people. It's not just the ones you see on TV. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes people that just work like crazy to make this thing come together.
Wow. So. Yeah, I can't imagine the project. And you're going to say hundreds of plants? Is that safe to say?
That's easy to say. Hundreds, yes.
Hundreds of plants, and how many trees?
I'm gonna say there's 10, 15 trees roughly, and there would be more, except that there's some great views that we're trying to protect. So so the trees are actually just kind of out on the outskirts, and the rest of it is all lower growing.
Are you
stuff.
gonna have to haul in some topsoil?
We spec'd in about 150 yards of topsoil. So
really,
yeah. At first it was about 300, but we kind of cut that back.
Yeah.
So there's some nice big mounds and things like that, and we had to cut back on some of the mounds.
Bringing in rocks.
A lot of boulders. Yes.
Where are you getting them?
The landscape company is getting them in. I don't recall who it was that's bringing them in. Well, I wish I knew offhand, but
we're going to be excited to see some of those pictures when you're done with it. And again, the Four Seasons Nursery out on Crater Lake Highway. You get off on Highway 62, or go out Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, go up about half mile. You'll see the beautiful nursery there. They're open from 9 to 5. And if you can walk through the nursery, all of the plants in the walkways you're saying are going to that project.
Yep, everything's palleted.
So
yeah, we've got most of it in. We're still waiting on a couple of loads of stuff and stuff. But yeah, you're welcome to come in and walk around and take a look. I can't show you the plans, but we can definitely show you what the plants are.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you, Tim.
All righty.
And I want to say to our listeners and viewers, I was just given a note by our producer. We got a very special guest coming up on Monday's radio show on the Dove at 6:20 in the morning. Presidential candidate Newt Gingrich is going to be with us live on the air on the radio side of things coming up Monday morning. So you may want to make sure you're listening in for that as well. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there, and go out and visit the Four Seasons Nursery and buy some of those beautiful pansies that are now coming in, and a lot of colors out there as well. We'll see you on Monday.